You have arrived at the best buffet in Bohol, by far, especially now during the lockdown, because quite possibly it's the only buffet in Bohol that I know of today, December 10th, 2021. Now, how you would get to the buffet is you would walk in the front entrance of the ICM mall, which is at the end of this corridor, and what you're going to see is the Jollibee sign, and you're going to make a right and come down this corridor and pass the Busy Bee restaurant, and on the corner here, Bo's Coffee. This restaurant right here is Bo's Coffee, and then just another 75 feet forward and you'll see this beautiful front entrance, black tile that glitters with the beautiful lights. And this is the entrance to the prawn farm, and I'm about to show you the foods. But first I'll go over the prices and tell you that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they have a buffet. For adults, 400 pesos. For children below 4'6", 225 pesos. And for toddlers below 4 feet, 125. And kids below 3 years old eat free, or what we call libre in the Philippines, baby. Libre. So today's menu is mushroom soup. Now, a lot of the soups are based with mushrooms, some with fish, some with potatoes, but the base mushroom soup that they sell here, that they serve here, is just excellent mushroom soup. Rice is rice, but it's a quality rice. But my favorite for today is the fish cutlets. And you'd be hard pressed to tell whether or not they're real fish cutlets. I believe they're real fish cutlets. I could not believe that they're fake. I believe they're real fish cutlets. We can ask when we get inside, and that is a rare thing to see actual fish cutlets at a buffet. Usually they have some sort of reconstituted, but these are actual real fish cutlets. And then today's sauteed shrimp, or prawns, are in an oyster sauce, which I've never had before today. And I gotta tell you, those are the best shrimp that I have eaten up until today. They're all good, they're all delicious, they're all masarap. But the oyster sauce, that is the first time today, and it is excellent. The pork mango is delicious. The honey glazed chicken is another one of my favorites. Now what I do is I bring my own lemons. I go across the street to the vegetable market, to the gulay market, and I bring a bag of lemons to put on the shrimp and the fish cutlets and also the chicken. Okay? Now for salads, they have lettuce, carrots, turnips, corn kernels, cucumber, and your choice of 3 different salad dressings. My Russian is my favorite. For the juices, they have cucumber juice and iced tea, and this is fresh watermelon and fresh pineapple. Now here are the prices for the prawn farm. Now I want to also tell you we're going to discuss 3 other topics today after I go through this menu. So this is the standard menu. These are the prices for the soups. These are the prices for the appetizers. These are the prices for their daily seafoods. Then this is for the main course, the prices. And then they have a selection of vegetables and a selection of noodles. They also have daily specials. which are these on the bottom here, including scallops when they're in season. So let's go inside and I'll show you the beautiful restaurant is sparkling, immaculate, clean. But I also want to tell you that today I'll be talking about the price of tools in Bohol, because this week I bought a lot of supplies for the hotel and tools, both in person, physical stores, and online when I get home today. Everything I couldn't buy in a physical store, I'll go home and order today online, and I will give you the breakdown on the prices for the Makita power miters, and then you can judge by I broke the prices down actually to the PESO, and I will tell you that the prices for the miters, the drills, the grinders, or the drill presses are exactly proportional for the savings from the 3 different stores that I went to, one being Builderware, one being City Hardware, and one being Fix Right Hardware store. And there's a difference of $120 for the power miter that I'm going to order when I go home today between the physical store in Bohol and online from Lazada. And that's a savings. Well, actually, it's a savings of $130 for just one tool. Just one tool, $130, if you know how to shop and where to shop in the Philippines. Because I assure you, by going to a brick and mortar store in the Philippines, sometimes it's to your advantage because you can pick the tool up right then and there, which I tried to do in 3 different stores. And sometimes it's to a disadvantage because they don't always carry the quality or the higher end tools. So I'll discuss that after I show you the foods, and I'm also going to discuss people that are come to my attention. There's a very foolish little man who's delving into black magic, and for that he will pay with his eternal soul. I gotta tell you, I studied religion, theology, and the occult for 7 years. It's all I basically did besides work. And the occult is not something that you want to get involved with, and to believe that somehow you have control over the occult just shows you that your IQ is in the very low single digits, because no one controls black magic. So let me go inside here and I'll lower my voice. So this is the beautiful restaurant, and it's very spacious down here, but you can also eat upstairs. However, they also have a meeting place upstairs, so you could have well over 100 people sit upstairs when they have their conferences or several different conferences. So, and it's just right up these stairs here. And look at the way this place shines. Look at the walls, how clean everything is, and the glass, the reflections of the lights off the glass. Everything shines. They really keep this place spotless clean. Much cleaner than anything you'll ever see in, well, I worked in a lot of pizzerias and seafood places in America. Never saw anything this clean, because they're always frying stuff and they don't have the proper ventilation, and the kitchens were usually close to the food place, you know, the sit down tables and chairs. But to get a place to shine like that, very difficult. So I will show you the foods, and then I'll discuss the prices, where I ended up buying what I ended up buying. And I also spent well, at this point, about $1,400 on supplies for the hotel. However, that might be a topic for a different day. Although I did buy another 18 liters of paint, isolastic paint, to paint my shelves and to paint the inside of the cargo container number 2 for the last section, the last 24 feet of shelving that I have to put into cargo container 2. So if you guys, Eden, the Garden of Eden this is the Garden of Eden, right here, the Garden of Eden. Just happens to be run by that woman on the end over there. Her name is Eden, and she introduces herself as the Garden of Eden, which is interesting in and of itself. Very nice lady. So this is the mushroom soup. Hey, Scott. Oh, God, I'm going for it today, Scott. I'm going for the record. I've been here for an hour already, moving into the shrimp deep. Moving into the shrimp deep. So what we have here is the mushroom soup, and then they have the bowls and the sauces here. And then they have the white rice, which is a quality rice, actually. I'm not going to have that because Scott Del Fuego is here and no carbohydrates, although I had some already. Now this is interesting. I believe this is actual fish fillets. It smells like actual fish fillets, and when you break it apart, it looks like fillet. The Garden of Eden. Polly Hogue, I have a question there. These are actual fish fillets, yeah? The Garden of Eden. Okay, I would like some fish fillets, please.
Fish fillet.
Your real name is Eden?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. Okay, salamat. Now, not this time with the spaghetti. Let me have no sauce, and one more shrimp, fish, please. Salamat. Okay, now this is a pasta in a seafood sauce. It's delicious, but we've had our 100 calories today. Mitch Bromwell, thank you. Thank you for stopping by.
Sir?
Yes, please. Mitch Bromwell is. Actually, Mitch, I want to ask you for your phone number. Okay, thank you. No, give me Duha more, please. I want to ask you for your phone number. I have a friend of mine who collects spacesuits. He has 4 on his wall, please. So these shrimp are sauteed shrimp with oyster sauce. We're going to give... Excuse me? One more, yes. These are honey glazed chicken. Oh, God, those you could eat like popcorn. Polly Hogue. You could eat those honey glazed shrimp like popcorn. I have a friend of mine, Mitch, that collects spacesuits. I want to get him in touch with you. Thank you. The Garden of Eden. What a cool name. Mein Buntag, amigo. What is your name, sir?
My name is Pete.
What?
Pete.
Pete?
Pete.
Sid?
Yeah.
Sid, S-I-D.
Pete.
Okay. And then over here for the drinks, not yet for me, please. Cucumber juice, iced tea, pineapple. All of this is cut this morning. When I get here at 9 o'clock, they're chopping all of these products up. Watermelon, oob jelly salad, and then these are seafood. And this is the salad bar with iceberg lettuce, carrots, corn, turnips, and cucumbers. Okay, and if you drink alcoholic beverages, They have a full array of beer, soda, and also top shelf liquors, whatever that means. Okay, so let me get back to my table. Mitch Bramwell. You know, Mitch, I want to try something. Okay, hopefully you're still here. Okay, let me try to get this. I'm trying to get you a wrench so you could post your channel up here. Mitch Bramwell has a channel that's under the name Mitch Bramwell. Mitch Bramwell works for NASA at the Kennedy liftoff in Cape Canaveral, not the Kennedy Space Center in Texas. I believe he works in Cape Canaveral, and if you go to his channel, Mitch Bramwell's channel, maybe somebody can get a link and put Mitch Bramwell's channel up on my page 3 times. Is that possible? Thank you. He has, like this week, they launched a satellite that does 3 things, and he showed the liftoff of the satellite, which is, he did it at night. It was at night, so you're really going to look at the what's called the rocket flare. Thank you, Scott. The rocket flare. But the interesting thing about when NASA or Kennedy sets off a rocket or a satellite is the roar, the decibel level of the roar from the distance that Mitch was at, probably near Cocoa Beach, because that's where I stayed. At the end of one of the roads, I think it was Route 40 or 44. Anyway, there's a place where you can watch the liftoff from, and even though you're close to 10 miles away, the sound is deafening. It's really cool. So, and he also shows you on his channel, the videos, he shows you the rockets before they go up into space when they're on trucks. Now these are the lemons I bring for my meal, so those 3 will go for that. He shows you the trucks that the rockets come on, how they're tied down, and he also can show you in different videos around the different control rooms and whatnot. So if you're a space enthusiast and you really have never seen videos of the actual craft when they roll them up into the center on trucks, or when they get delivered by boat, it's a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool thing. And Mitch has that stuff on his channel. And also Mitch is married to a Filipina. He also has some videos of the Grand Canyon with his Filipina family. I'm pretty sure it's the Grand Canyon, where they walk out on that glass overhang, and he's with his entire. It looks like half of the Philippines. I'm only kidding, of course, but he has quite the extended family. So if you're a Filipino or a Filipino American, and this is just one man who was married to a Filipina with the extended family, you get an idea from Mitch's videos with his family what it looks like to have a Filipino extended family on vacation with you. I think it was the Grand Canyon. I'm not real sure, but it was quite the event. It was a family outing that will probably never be outdone. Based on the amount of people that were with Mitch. It was pretty cool, actually. So that's Mitch Bromwell's channel that's got posted 3 times, and thank you very much, Mitch, for the lunch. I appreciate that. And we're going to talk about tools now. Okay, we've talked about the prawn farm. Oh, let me finish with the buffet. In regards to the buffet occurs on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I went through the prices in the front, but basically for adults, it's 400 pesos. And they don't use MSG at all, because I never have a headache or a buzzing in my head, and my feet or my ankles do not swell up at all. So I know for a fact they're not using magic syrup or MSG or accent or any of the various different names for the flavor enhancers. They don't use any of that. And if they use salt, it's a minimal amount of salt. And I would know that, because if it was too much salt, both my ankles would swell up. None of that occurs. So the food is cooked pretty much with natural spices and seasonings. I could ask this girl, Amiga, I have a question. She's getting called by somebody else. Okay, she was being called by the manager. Okay, so I'll ask somebody else when we get to it. Okay, so this is, so we'll talk about tools now. Okay, so what I did was I broke it down for you on this piece of paper. How much money I'm gonna save by shopping at Lazada for this one tool. It's a Makita power miter that cuts metal. And I have to put my glasses on, but these are the numbers. One is for the fixed right hardware store. This one is for the Build-A-Ware prices. And this one is for Lazada. Okay? Now, there is a big advantage to shopping on Lazada and some disadvantages, and we'll go over that as well. So, let me just tell you that at City Hardware, this blade here, this is a 355 millimeter metal cutting blade for the Makita metal cutting saw that I'm purchasing. This blade at Build-A-Ware is what they call, I guess they call it bait, to get you to go to Build-A-Ware to buy this blade or other blades like it. Because Build-A-Ware's prices are a full 20% less for all cut-off saw blades, whatever size they are. 14, 10, 8, and 7 inch. Well, they don't actually have 8 inch, but they have 7 1/4. And Build-A-Ware's prices are 20% less for metal or steel or concrete, excuse me. So Build-A-Ware's prices for these blades are 20% less for steel or concrete. Now, why do I have these? Well, I just took these as an example. So this price is 195 pesos at Build-A-Ware. However, if I put my glasses on, the price in the Fix Right hardware store is 250 pesos. Well, that's 25% more in the Fix Right hardware store. The blades in Build-A-Ware are 200 and the blades in Fix Right are 250. That's 25% more. City Hardware, the blades are 285, so that's 30+% more. So Build-A-Ware has the blades for the least expensive price. However, they also have, for the same item, which is a power miter for metal, their price is 12,500 pesos, which is $210. $210. When the price for the Lazada is 7,300, but it comes with 3 blades, which is 600 pesos, a pair of gloves, which is 50 pesos, a pair of goggles, which is 50 pesos, and brushes, an extra set of brushes. So it actually costs 6,400 pesos, or $130. We're just rounding this off. So you have $210 minus $130 is 5,000 plus pesos that you save by buying it from Lazada. And if you buy it from Build-A-Ware, you save 3,400 pesos. Excuse me, it costs you 3,400 pesos more than if you buy it from Lazada. So Lazada is 3,400 pesos less money than Build-A-Ware, and 5,600 pesos less than Fix-Right Hardware Store. And Fix-Right and City Hardware are about exactly the same price. So I didn't write it down on this piece of paper. Now, all of these stores I went to this morning, and I did not buy this tool. I would have bought this tool, and it was available about 2 months ago, but I wasn't ready for it. However, the price is in a different store, and the price was 15,000 pesos. But it was a higher end model than any of these three. These three are the same model. There's the highest end model is not available in any of these stores. Now, the highest end model on Lazada, I'm buying that today. It's on a 60% off price because they just came out with that model this week. It's the most powerful metal saw. It's also the lightest by 1.5 kilos. It's 2,200 watts, continuous use. These are not continuous use tools. I won't use it as a continuous use tool. I will only use it as, one cut, make another cut. I mean, I might use it for an hour, but the tool I'm buying, you can use it for 8 hours a day non-stop. And the reason I'm buying that tool is because the newest model has a cut depth of 5-inch for square tubing. So you can cut a 5-inch square tube, 5x5, with the newest model. The model that the newest model replaces, you could only cut a 4.5 by 4.5 tube with the previous model. It's discontinued, so it doesn't matter. So, and it's on sale for 60% off the cost, what they're going to start charging for the tool in a few months, or once the initial offering or the sale price is gone, it will be not 7,300. It will be, I think it was 14,000, 7,300. Or 7,300, they also give you 3 blades. So I did the math on that. 7,300. And now deduct 600 for the blades, 50 for the gloves, 50 for the goggles, and 200 for the brushes. That's 900. The saw is 6,400 pesos, plus 500 for shipping. So let's just say it costs 7,000 pesos. Add, if it's 60% off, add another 7,000 pesos, or 14,000 plus 10% more. So it's 14,600 pesos, or plus shipping, or with shipping. So you're looking at 15,000 for the tool, or now on sale for 6,400. Now, do I need the most powerful tool of the miters? I do, because the railings for the hotel I'll be making myself. I'll buy the stock, but I'm going to buy a MIG welder that will weld stainless steel or aluminum, and I will buy the extrusion and make the railings for the balconies myself, or at least design them myself. And I'll need the miter to cut the extrusion moldings. I'll order the extrusion moldings directly from the factory, wherever that is, even if it's in China. So I'm pretty sure there's an extrusion molding place in Cebu, but wherever that is, I'm going to use that miter to cut the balcony railings. So do I need it? No, you can buy one for 3,000 pesos, but it's not continuous use, and it doesn't have the same cutting depth. I think it's 3 5/8, so it's a full 1.5 inches less cutting depth, because the motor is bigger. So then that cuts down the depth that you can use the saw blade for. So let me give you the benefits of buying from Lazada and the negatives of buying from Lazada. Now, you know, I've had no luck buying a rebar bender from Lazada. Buying a rebar bender from Lazada, no luck. But the last 10 orders that I got from Lazada have saved me somewhere in the vicinity of $300 than to buy in a physical brick and mortar store. Now, I still would buy it in a brick and mortar store. If there was one in the store, I would buy it in the store. However, the problem with these stores in Bohol is they don't carry the top of the line. Like the top of the line miter for Makita, they don't carry that at all. Not only don't they carry it, but they're never going to carry it. They carry the mediocre one, and then you can see the disparity in the cost of 5,600 pesos in fixed rate and 3,400 pesos in build-a-wear, and those are for the medium price tools. Now, I did this comparison for Louis Pagan punts because he wanted to know the difference in prices from knockoff tools. So I will tell you a very important thing about Makita tools. This is important. When you go to the store and you see the name Makita on the tool, if you buy the green tool, that says Makita on it, you're getting, I'm not sure if it's just the lesser quality Makita. I think you're buying a knockoff. The green tools that say Makita on it, I think they're made from a different company. However, no matter, whatever it is, whether it's a different company or a lesser quality tool, which it's really got to be from a different company, like something made in China, because the actual cost of a Makita in green for the same miter in green was 10,300 pesos. Now, for the same miter in blue was 10,180 pesos. So the actual Makita product is the same price or less than the Chinese knockoff. And the blue tool is a better tool. It's just a better tool. The 2 or 3 people that owned, well, one man that owned the store and one mechanic I spoke with in a different hardware store that knew what it was. He said, no, the blue tools are a superior quality. So the blue tools are the same price or less in Build-A-Wear and also in one other store. However, they're out of blue tools. So if they would have had the blue tool with the horizontal handle, the one I'm going to order tonight for 7,300 pesos, if they would have had that tool, I would have bought it. He doesn't have it, he's not going to order it, and he's never going to order it, and he never had it. So when you go to a brick and mortar store, they got a medium range tool that's much more expensive than online because they have a store. Understandable. I would have still bought the tool, even if it would have been 3,000 pesos more from a brick and mortar store than to buy it from Lazada because it keeps the stores open. Well, Lazada wants all stores to go out of business, and then you'll see the prices go up and up and up. It happens. It's just called business. So you are at a big disadvantage when you come to the Philippines to go shopping. They don't have the high-end models. Now, the disparity of $100, $120 on a $240 tool is 50%. Well, excuse me, $210 tool is 40%. But you're paying 40% more in a brick and mortar store. But the disadvantage is you're buying it from Lazada, and then you have to be home when the tool gets delivered. And which is so far, a year and a half ago when I was ordering stuff from Lazada, it was a disaster. They would tell you the tool was coming that day, and they wouldn't tell you it was coming till 8:15, and by 8:15, my day is already well underway. And at 8:15, I would be waiting for the message to either stay in the house or go shopping, or go to pick up materials. But now they're starting to put the online notice texting you to your phone, no more email. I discontinued that the order will be, at 7:15, they tell you that the order's coming today. And it comes that day, every time. Well, so far, every time. So that's a thing that Lazada has finally fixed, but it won't tell you what day of the week it's coming. It'll tell you that your order isn't being processed, means nothing. It could be in Manila still. Your order has been shipped, it means it's being shipped from Manila to Bohol. Your order is being organized, which means it's being put in the out box to go out, and then the day that they're going to deliver it at 7:15 or before, they tell you your order will be here today. And Lazada comes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, typically. So that tool I'll be buying. I bought 10 of these blades where I saved 500 pesos by buying the blades from Build-A-Wear. Online at Lazada, by the time you pay the shipping, it's an extra $1 per blade. So I saved $10 on buying the blades in person at a brick and mortar store named Build-A-Wear. I saved $10 because I bought 10 blades. because I have a lot of cutting to do. I have eight pipes for the first column times 4, 32 pieces of pipe. I need to cut 36 inches long. So that's 64 cuts for pipe for one column. That's 128 cuts if I do 2 columns at the same time. So that's just the cuts for the pipe. I also have the rebar that I'm going to have to start cutting, because apparently I'm never going to get a rebar bender with the cutter part, with the cutter part attached to it. So the next time a rebar bender appears in Manila, or if that woman ever answers the phone that I've been calling all week, that the one that has the 115,000 peso rebar bender with a 28,000 peso delivery charge, which is 143. If she can confirm that that 28,000 pesos is from Manila to my front door, I'll buy that machine. But she won't answer the phone, because last Thursday, her husband died. So now she just picks up the phone, and when I say hello in English, she hangs up. You can hear her breathe, though. She's a breather. Usually it's the other way around. Somebody calls you up and breathes and then hangs up. Well, she breathes like that, and then when you say hello in English, they hang up. Go figure. Welcome to the Philippines. So that's my second topic. Now my third topic is a little bit more serious. I gotta tell you, black magic. Let me get a glass of cucumber juice. Give me a moment. Let me have a shrimp, because my brain is getting tired. And inside the head of the shrimp, let me show it to you so you can see this for yourself. Wow. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to get one of these shrimpers, yeah? Okay. Okay. Now, right there, that's the head of the shrimp. Okay. Inside the head of this shrimp right here is a very powerful shrimp brain, B-R-A-I-N, a shrimp brain. When you eat the head of the shrimp brain is absorbed like alcohol. When you take a shot of alcohol, the alcohol hits the back of your throat, and the alcohol gives you a rush up into your brain, through your brain stem. When you eat the head of the shrimp, some of that brain, if you chew it properly, some of that brain, where is it? Right there. Some of the brain that's behind the eyes there, some of that brain hits the back of your throat, and it goes straight up into your brain. So it goes from being shrimp brains to your brains, physically. This is one of the biggest secrets in the universe, in the known universe. And on other planets, I don't know if they eat shrimp brains. They might be born with a shrimp brain and they eat something else. I don't know. On other planets, I've not been there yet. But on this planet, on this flat Earth, the shrimp brain, when it's chewed properly, hits the back of your throat and goes straight up into your brain. Now you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that happen to me. You're going to see what's going to happen is I'm going to eat this shrimp head, and the brain, you're going to see the brain expand my headband. I had to adjust my headband to allow for the shrimp brain. I think most of that shrimp brain went up. Yep, it did. I felt my IQ go up 2 points just now. Boy, they're good, those shrimp heads. And in the oyster sauce, it's the best I've ever had. So let me tell you something else that I do when I come here. I bring my own calamansi. I bring my own lemons. I go to the vegetable store. It's called Gulai. I go to the Gulai market and I buy a bag of calamansi. These happen to come from my house. I bought a kilo 2 days ago. I'll go through 1 kilo of calamansi each week. So let me put one lemon on 1 shrimp. That's the best. If you can afford it, to buy the shrimp for the lemons, 1 lemon per shrimp. If you can afford to do it like that, that's the best. Now you want to get the juice on the head of the shrimp. There's a reason for that. You want the head of the shrimp to be lubricated because you want to eat the shrimp head first. This is a system that I have. I eat the whole shrimp because the head of the shrimp gives you the brain of the shrimp. The shell of the shrimp gives you roughage through your stomach lining and your intestines. And that it's like a giant piece of sandpaper going through your intestinal tract, cleaning the cholesterol and the carbohydrates and stuff. The shell is like a giant scrub brush. And what the shell misses, the legs of the shrimp, the legs grab. The legs reanimate themselves. Like that guy Kai on the Lex. When Kai comes back to life, I think it was the Lex. But anyway, when that guy Kai came back, the legs reanimate themselves and they clean whatever the shells miss. Just like when the shrimps are in the water, the legs are going like this in your intestines. And the tail is not to you, but to me and to Mark Spitz. Mark Spitz, the tail is what makes the shrimp swim through the water. Well, that's how Mark Spitz won 19 gold medals. He ate the shrimp with the heads and the shells and the tails. He did. He ate the whole shrimp. And the tails, he had an extra helping of every day. He doubled up on the tails. That's why he was the best swimmer in the world. And I'm going to show you how to eat a shrimp now, head first, because if you don't eat it head first, that bad boy could get jammed up in your esophagus, and you don't want that to happen. You just don't want that to happen. So you put the head in first. No worries. Mom. The shrimp and the oyster sauce is definitely, by far, the best method that they've ever cooked these shrimp, by far. Now, I have other topics that I want to talk about. I want to talk about black magic. And I want to talk about a guy Wait for it. I want to talk about a guy. he folded under pressure this week. He had a nervous breakdown. Oh my God. From a flat tire. I gotta get something to drink. Holy macaroni. Guy folded under pressure. The pressure of his brother getting a flat tire was too stressful for him to handle. We had to hear about that flat tire that afternoon, that night, in the next 3 videos, live streams that he did. He folded under the pressure of a flat tire. Imagine having the mental fortitude of not being able to take the pressure of a flat tire in a car with 2 grown men in the daytime in a major metropolitan area. And we're going to talk about the incompetence of the owner of the car itself and the guy who folded under pressure. And when I get back, but first I'm gonna have a little bit more brain. I used up a lot of brain laughing. My God. Imagine him in an emergency situation, and you had to depend on him to keep his cool. He folded under the pressure of a flat tire in the daytime with his brother in a safe area in a car because he and his brother, well, I can't blame him. I can blame his brother for being a complete fool. I'll do that when I get back. I'm really thirsty. A buffoon. His brother is a buffoon, a fool, an absolute detriment to society. The IQ of society with these 2 guys in the car that folded under pressure, and the IQ of the brother is even less. I'll tell you why in a minute. I got notes, but let me tell you, these guys, you don't want them around when the stuff hits the fan. Okay, so we're going to talk about 2 of the most incompetent people in this week's videos. Merry Christmas, Ruby. I was gonna say hello to you soon anyway. I'm actually not watching. Well, I haven't seen any notices from you. Merry Christmas back at you, Ruby, and Frank also. We're gonna talk about. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna talk about Scott del Fuego, cucumber juice, baby. Scott, I often wonder if I gotta ask these people if it has sugar in it. Jacob, I have a question for you. When you come back, they're a little busy, so. I love cucumbers. No, I love cucumber juice. Scott, I have been eating 1 or 1.5 cucumbers every single day for the last 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, with my pork, with my broiled pork. And what I do is I buy the pork in 3 kilo, 1 piece. That when the hogs come in the morning in the ICM mall, all the butchers now know me. I just tell the security guard to go in the back, tell the butcher Michael wants 9 kilos of pork, or 7 kilos of pork, or 5, and they bring me out the whole pork, uncut, the lean pork, the whole thing. So maybe they'll have a 2.5 or 3 kilo piece, and if I want 9 kilos, they'll give me 3 of those. And I cut it into 3/4 inch strips, and I broil it. Now while that's broiling, this is for the carnivore diet. While it's broiling, I cut up half of an entire bowl of garlic, half a bowl, or more, but half minimum, and I slice it thin. I don't cook that at all. I eat that raw. While the pork is broiling, I cut up 4 calamansi lemons, and I cut them in half. I prepare my lemons. And then I cut the cucumber in half, and then in 1/8 to 1/4 inch slices. The whole cucumber. I put that on my plate. That's the bottom. I sprinkle the juice from 4 lemons, and then I take that chopped up garlic raw, and I put it on top of the cucumber. This is carnivore diet friendly, and I put it on top of the cucumber. Then when the meat is done, I cut that up into little pieces, whatever size pieces I want to eat. I make small chunks. And then I take 1 piece of cucumber with the fork, and then I jab a piece of meat. And I try to get some garlic. Now you got to remember now, the cucumber is soaking in the lemon sauce. Oh yeah, one more thing. I put a 1/2 ounce of clear vinegar, white vinegar, on the cucumber. So when the pork is done cooking, I cut the pork up into pieces. Then I take the fork and I put it through the cucumber into the pork, and I try to grab a couple of little pieces of fresh garlic. And that's all I eat. That's all I've eaten for breakfast, lunch, or dinner now for going on 30, 35 days, except for the buffet. And I've grown to actually enjoy that meal quite a bit. I mean, I eat it twice a day, every day, for 35 days, except for when I come to the prawn farm to go. Because this is a super diet day at the prawn farm. The prawns, they take the fat They're like taking your breath away. The prawns take the fat away from your body. I could feel that right now. I had already two dishes. The prawns are in there working. Like that, taking the fat. So let me. So that's now, and the cucumbers. I'm not crazy about cucumbers. But with the suka and the lemon juice, a little bit of salt, now I'm able to eat salt now. I came across one of the brands of salt. I don't know which one it is, the label fell off, but one of the brands of salt that I brought back, of the 8 kilos of salt I brought back from New York, doesn't make my legs swell. And it's not the Himalaya salt. Ah, look at this. I'm going to be so damn smart in a minute. Watch this. Look at the size of this prawn. We're going to talk about this fool who folded under pressure. That was a good laugh. Hey, fool, thanks for the laugh. And his brother. Okay, the brain is in the top. The shell goes for the intestine, big, small, and the stomach. And the tail makes me look like Mark Spitz when I go in the water. Except I have a belly. That is so good. I gotta get this guy's menu. When is he making oyster shrimp again? Wow, these are the best. I never had anything this good. Amigo, I have a question. When they cook the shrimp or the food, do they use MSG or magic masarap? Nothing. Zero. Wow, because that is so good. Let me give you a guapo. Wait. Get a guapo. Wait. Okay, give me a guapo. No. Off. Yeah. What is your name now, Jacob? That's Jacob Guapo. Jacob, here. Take the candy.
How many, sir?
There's 2 each. 2 for everybody. Okay? You pass them out, please. Okay, salamat. I bring them, and then of course I give them a tip. But it's only a two duha for everybody. There's 54 pieces in there. Okay? 54. No. Like that. Okay? Okay. Unless Ray Vincent, you in the kitchen too now. Ray will do it. Okay. He's gonna do something. He's gonna give some. I don't know what he's gonna do. Next week, I'm going to buy them cookies. I'll give them like a package of cookies because I gave, I'm finished. This is the last. Actually, there's 54 pieces left, and that's what I needed. No. My brain is expanding. Talking about expanding brains. Okay. So we have this guy who's now delving into black magic with an IQ of about in the single digits.
How many, sir? 54?
There's 54 pieces in there. Just take them all. Take all.
Take all.
And then give to the people in the kitchen and you and the waiters, okay? Let me see. There you go. And thank you.
Thank you.
Vai sapayan.
Miss Bell.
Okay. Thank you, Ray Vincent. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, so I guess they're not allowed to bring that bag in the back. Okay, so this guy who folded under pressure from a flat tire. Come on. You know, I jumped, at the age of 33, I jumped on a barge in Traverse City, Michigan. And by myself, I took it 1,700 miles, a 30 by 50 barge. I navigated 1,700 miles of the Great Lakes, Lake St. Clair, the Detroit Straits, and 33 locks and bridges down through the Erie Barge Canal, and then down the Hudson River. And then I made a left and went to Kennedy by myself. The motor broke, I repaired the motor. When the stern drive blew up, I rebuilt the stern drive with my dad in Port Austin. He came to Port Austin, Michigan. When I needed fuel, I stopped someplace, got one of the locals to bring me to a telephone, found out where there was a fuel truck, and they would bring the fuel truck to the barge, and I fuel up the barge. When the motors needed oil, I went downstairs in the morning, and this guy couldn't handle the pressure of a flat tire. You talk about folding under pressure. I never folded, and I did that by myself. And I had never been past, in my whole life, I had never been past Hellgate in the Hudson River on my own. My dad brought me up and down the Hudson River and to Maine and back on his tugboat, but on my own. Okay, so I never was more than 20 miles from my house in a boat. And here I went to Michigan and bought a 30 by 50 barge, 188 tons with a crane on it and a pile driver, and did it by myself. I didn't even know how to navigate at the time. I just bought a book on how to navigate, I bought the maps, and I did the trip. And this guy couldn't fix a flat tire. You talk about weak. You talk about weak, not physical, but mental. You talk about a weak person. We're talking about a weak person that talked about the pressure that he was under for 2 days on YouTube talking about a flat tire. So let me tell you what happened. Okay? First of all, the ignorance of these two men combined, if you added up their single-digit IQs, you're still not really generating enough energy to move one set of bipeds. Somehow, these two fools got into a car. Here's the ignorant part one. There were multiple parts to this story. The two fools got into a car and they got a flat tire. Now apparently, what's not known to me is did they have a spare tire or not? Because they had to wait at an automotive store for a tire to be fixed. I'm not sure if they had a spare tire or not, but here's the point. When they got into the car in the morning, they were on their way to a doctor's appointment. And this is the ignorant part too. Well, apparently, the doctor's appointment was that day, but it wasn't in the morning. So, it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So in the morning when they left, they got the flat tire. They had to wait in a automotive place for a few hours for something to get fixed. I don't know. I don't know if it was a spare tire. Because the story, the way the guy tells the story, he tells bits and pieces. He never explained it. We had to, because he was crying so damn hard, you couldn't tell the story. You couldn't. First of all, you're listening to a grown man cry about a flat tire. Well, grown men don't cry about flat tires, but you heard, oh, I had a bad day and I wasn't feeling. Who cares how you were feeling? Nobody on YouTube cares how you were feeling. But that's not the point. So you got into a car at the early part of the day, let's say 9 o'clock, and you get a flat, and you got to spend 2 hours or 3 hours in an automotive store till, say, lunchtime. That stressed you out? Did it ever occur to you to get off your Bodinsky and go make a video? Or do a live stream? Or do something constructive? Did it ever occur to you that you didn't have to sit in the automotive shop for 3 hours or 2 hours? No, because sitting in the automotive shop is what allowed you to cry like a little boy for 3 hours. And that's what you do best. So, when the tire was fixed, still they don't know that the dentist or the doctor appointment is the afternoon. When the tire got fixed, they went to the doctor's office and found out that the appointment wasn't for several more hours. The stress of it all. So they now have a car. Now, if they got into the car and there was no spare tire, well, that's ignorance number 3. And if they got into the car and they used the donut to get to the automotive shop, stop crying about it. That's just part of life. And you could have went and did something else. You know, I'm going to segue out and back into this. You, this guy, this foolish little man, clear as day, ridiculed me because I made a video showing how big the shrimp were at the prawn farm 4 weeks ago. Oh, if you think those are big shrimp, those are not big prawns. I'll show you big prawns. This is the crybaby. The guy that was crying about a flat tire and waiting in an automotive store, which is, in today's world, a common occurrence. You bring your car to an automotive shop and you only wait 2 hours, it's a blessing. Anyway, he was crying. Crying is what he does. Now, those are not big prawns, I'll show you big prawns. Well, that was 3 weeks ago. You have never, to this day, come on and showed us big prawns. So what were you crying about? What were you crying about that my prawns were not big? I didn't make the prawns. I didn't grow the prawns. I didn't go to the prawn farm and collect the prawns. They were over there. Over there. Let me show you where the prawns came from. Let me show you where they came from. This way you know where they came from. They came from right over there. Okay? That's where the prawns came from. The prawns came from over there. I didn't make the prawns. I didn't buy the prawns. I didn't order the prawns. I just ate the prawns. And what are you crying about? What do you care? What do you care? Why do you care how big the prawns were? If you were going to show us bigger prawns, then you could have your pound of flesh. But you never did that. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that on 5 years of YouTube, you have never made a video of you out of the house on your own, ever. No one's ever seen you out of the house on your own. You go to the stores, you bring a tricycle driver, or you bring your girlfriend with you. You've never gone anywhere by yourself, ever. So now you were going to show us big prawns 3 weeks ago. What do you care how big the prawns are that they have at the prawn farm? You were going to show us how big where you get big prawns. You've never left the house on your own, dude. Don't say because you don't have a car. You don't have a car because you screwed up your license. You lost your license or you let it expire. That's why you don't have a car. You could have mailed in your license, the money for your license, and kept it renewed from the Philippines. Or you are incompetent across the board. You could have renewed your license through the mail using your address where you live now. You could have just paid it online, but you didn't do that. Or you could have did like I did, took my American license and brought it to the motor vehicle office in Bohol, showed them my commercial driver's license, and did a blood test, and then a visual, an eye test, and a urine test for a total of about, it was $50. Daisy paid for everything. I don't remember. I gave her the money and she talked to the people for me, but it was about $50 for everything. And I paid for my driver's license, and then I'm a licensed driver in the Philippines. Then when you went back to America, because you're not too bright, dude, then when you went back to America, you could have drove in America with a Filipino driver's license for a certain period of time, but it was probably had reciprocity where you could have just showed them your Filipino driver's license and they would have given you a driver's license because it would have went lateral. But no, not you. You were too cheap to pay the fine, thinking you're never going to go back to America and drive. What were you thinking? When I went back to America, I drove. How do you not think you're going to not need a car? When you're back in America, you're going to need a car. Especially you live so far away from the stores, but you don't think that's your low level of competency. You have no competency in most things, and driver's license was one of them. So now, digressing back, he's at this waiting station in the automotive store. They finished there, and the two of them still don't know the doctor's appointment is not until for several more hours, and that stressed him out. Why didn't the two of you just get into the car and do what you said you were going to do when you went back to America, aka blog the island that you live on? We still haven't seen any of those videos. We didn't see a video of the giant prawns that you were going to show, because that just came out of nowhere. Your prawns are bigger than my prawns. You are a fool, dude. I have giant prawns, but the fool has bigger giant prawns, but he doesn't show them. I build stuff out in the yard, but the fool says, I never saw him build anything. I'm going to tell you something. I'm warning you, but on or before January 10th, I'm going to do something. I'm going to start showing all the proofs that you have accumulated against my words. If I said I have a permit for the building, I'm going to show you a valid permit dating back to 2017. If I said I owned a Cobra Mustang, I think I'll show you the registration. If I said I owned a Formula Ocean Racer, and you say I didn't, I think I'll show you the registration. I tell everybody I'm a licensed A&P jet mechanic, and you say, you moron, you say that my brother is an A&P mechanic, and I'm stealing my brother's valor from his A&P jet mechanic's license. You are such a foolish little man, jealous beyond anybody's ability to comprehend. My brother is an A&P jet mechanic, licensed by the Federal Aviation Administration. He graduated 2 years after I did with my airframe and powerplant jet mechanics license. But you get everything so messed up in your little brain. How that little brain of yours generates enough energy to move your bipeds is beyond me. And now, on or before January 10th, I'm going to bring up about 10 subjects that you swear I didn't do, I can't do, I never did. And maybe I'll show you all the licenses and all the registrar numbers for the licenses. I have that in a box in cargo container 2. I'm going to back you into a corner where you're going to have to admit that you're a false YouTuber. You're not a blogger, you're a YouTuber. And you're a false YouTuber at that. Everything that comes out of your crooked mouth is false. Everything. You have no honor whatsoever. And the fact that you repeatedly say day after day after day, I'm the only YouTuber that tells the truth. You have never told the truth, dude. You are anything but the truth. You're a false, you're a fake. As a human, I use that word loosely. As a human being, you're the most, when it comes to credentials, you're the most disgraced, credible person on YouTube. Nobody believes anything that you say. When you get on YouTube and tell people that I never owned a heavy equipment company in Florida, all they have to do is call up Monroe County Building Department, get the permit division, get the licensing division, and say, did a company named On-Time Backhoe by Michael Fazio ever exist in Monroe County between the years 2003, I think I started On-Time Backhoe, and 2012. Did that company exist? And was the name of the owner of the company Michael Fazio? And they're going to say yes. That company, I filled out the paperwork in 2012, and I voided out the company. I have the contracts. I had my business license under Michael Fazio, On-Time Backhoe, and you deny all of that. I'm going to destroy your credibility on YouTube. by showing actual facts. And that's a fact, Jack. Ruby Galaris, thank you for stopping by. Merry Christmas back at you. Hello, Miss Ruby Galaris, says Scott Del Fuego. Yeah, we love cucumber juice too. Oh man, it is so good. I'm afraid to ask him if it has sugar in it, because then Scott will know it has sugar in it, and then he'll cut me down on my cucumber juice. A thumbs up. Thank you, Ruby, for the thumbs up. The nice thing for you is, as you lose fat, you have muscle mass underneath. Oh God. Yeah, and it's now. I'm into this now for 140 days, Scott. The carnivore diet. I don't get tired anymore. I don't even take naps. I took one nap this week. But that day, I got up at my normal time, 5:30, but the night before, I was on the phone for the holidays and talking to some people in America, and I didn't get a lot of sleep that night. I don't know why. And it was also a full moon, so it was the night of the full moon. Do some damage to the bottom line of the buffet. This place is freaking great, man. And the nicest thing about it is, the nicest thing about it is it's centrally located right where I need to go pick up all my supplies. And the manager comes in the morning and says hello to me, and the staff, they're all friendly. I'm starting to remember all their names. The ones I can hear. With these masks on and the music in the background, I have trouble hearing. So the little man had damn near a nervous breakdown from a flat. So whose fault is that? But we had to hear. We don't have to listen. But it's fun. It's entertainment. It's actually entertainment to watch you have a nervous breakdown over a flat tire. What would you do if you had to fix the stuff that I have to fix on a daily basis? Drain the water out of the compressor every couple of days. I got to lay on a dirty wooden floor in the cargo container to drain the water out. And then the water comes out and sprays all oil from the leakage from the rings all over everything when it's blowing into the thing. I do that. What about when I'm fixing, I gotta grease the machine and fill up the grease gun with a long object and shove grease in it. I get black grease with sand and grit all over myself, and then I gotta lay underneath the machine and grease it. What about that? What about when I gotta go to the store and get 10 containers of diesel fuel at 1,000 pesos a container now? What about that? You couldn't handle any kind of serious pressure, let alone you couldn't handle a flat tire. So if you had no spare tire, that just shows you that you're even more ignorant. Because you left the house with a car with no spare tire. And if you had a spare tire and you put the donut on, and you're complaining that you're sitting in probably in an air-conditioned office in an automotive store waiting for a tire, what do you don't think? You think you were the only person waiting? What, are you special? Jesus Christ, dude, I never heard anybody cry so much as you in my life. You couldn't do 1/1000 of what I do during the course of my day. I got up this morning, 5 o'clock, went outside, shut the lights off, brought water into the house for drinking, checked my mail, made a final list of what I had to get for the day. I was in the city at 7:15 in the morning. I got on the, I got on the jeepney at 5 to 7. I was in the city at 7:45. I was at the first bank to get money, that both the machines were out of money. And one of them went out of money for the person in front of me after I waited 10 minutes. Did you hear me crying about that? No. The machine ran out of money. It happens all the time. So I went to another bank and got money. It's just that simple. One doesn't work, the other one works. Then I went into Build-A-Ware. No. Yes, Build-A-Ware was my next stop. And Build-A-Ware, I went through their tool department and got in touch with their manager. They don't have the tool I want and they can't order it from me. So I went from Build-A-Ware to City Hardware. City Hardware doesn't have the tool and they won't order it from me. Then I went from City Hardware to ICM. And then I went to the FRI hardware store. And they didn't have the tool I wanted, nor will they order it from me. Then I have something special I'm doing before Christmas. And I have a list of special items that I'm going to need to do that thing. I went through my list this morning and got some of the non-perishables that were on the list. This is all by myself. I'm in the city by myself. Nobody to protect me. I don't need a tricycle driver to follow me around. I don't worry about anybody tapping me on the shoulder. That kind of stuff doesn't faze me in the least. Where you, on the other hand, you're scared of your own shadow. I've never seen a grown man so afraid to go out of the house by himself. Never. I've never seen that. The men in my family, we just get up in the morning and go to work and go do what we got to do. You have never, think about this. This guy has never left his house 9 months by himself, ever. And the one time he left the house, he threatened his neighbor's life with a shovel. It's probably good that you don't leave the house too often. My God, that was one of the funniest videos I ever seen. Now, I see more money up here. Let's say Scott and I are going to hit the buffet. Scott and I are going to go to Alona Beach. Actually, I've not done the butterfly farm. There's a butterfly farm. I think Scott and I will both enjoy that when he gets here. And I have never seen the Tajir monkeys. I've never seen them. I mean, yeah, they're like this big. They fit inside this glass. It's a real live little animal. I've never seen those, except pictures of them. Scott and I are going to do that. Hey, John escaped. Hey, John. Oh, thank you very much for the trike ride home. Thank you. John, I did call you this morning. I'm sorry. I got embroiled in this little man's inability to deal with a flat tire. Come on, man. You know, yeah, I'll give you what a real man does during the course of the day. I just showed you my itinerary. And I did all of that before 9:15 in the morning. John escaped. John escaped gets up in the morning. He gets into his very nice truck. And he goes to his office and he looks at his messages. He has indirectly 700 people working for him. Directly, somewhere between 12 and 20 people. And he has to deal with those 12 to 20 people and their requests. Now, you want to talk about somebody who can make a decision as a man? John escaped. You've never made an executive decision. This is the little fella that couldn't handle a flat. So 3 weeks ago, John and I are talking on the phone, and John came in. John told me that when he went into the office, there was an insurrection of labor. Labor wanted more money, or they were going to walk off the job. And John and I were talking about it. Now, for me, they made the decision already to go get another job. When you come up to me and tell me that you demand more money, you already made the decision that you're leaving ASAP, as soon as possible. So what did John do? John told the man who gave him that information, tell them to quit. Tell them to quit. They're not going to get a raise. Because that was basically extortion. So, now John has to answer to somebody else for that decision. But he didn't ask the superior people in the corporation for their opinion. He just fired them. Told them get a new job. That's his position. He can do that. If they don't like his decision, they can fire him. But he is a man that can make a decision. It's a decision either way. They want more money or they're going to quit. If John bows down to them there, it won't stop. He knows that. But somebody else might be afraid that 25 people are going to quit. Who's going to fill their shoes? Who cares who's going to fill their shoes? Let them go seek new employment and then find people that will work for the same price or less as a new employee. You can't even handle the pressure, this is the little fella, of a flat tire. And that was just one decision that he had to make that day. The maintenance had to be done on a certain product. And the guy who did the maintenance wasn't there. Problem. He handled it. Somehow or another, you got to handle it. You couldn't. It wasn't your car. It wasn't your doctor's appointment. Or maybe it was. Yeah, it was. But you were the one, yeah, so the incompetency times 5. You were the one that didn't know when the appointment was. You are totally, effectively incompetent. If it was your doctor's appointment. You left the house without knowing what time to go to the doctor. You got a lousy flat tire. You had to wait for 2 hours to get it fixed. No big deal. For me, that would give me 2 hours to go out and make a video. you're supposed to be a blogger? No, you're a crybaby with a cell phone. You don't even qualify really to be a blogger. You're just a YouTuber. You've never put any content up. Your only content is to talk about other people. And your lying methodology that you're going to show the world that your prawns are bigger than my prawns. Well, first of all, I don't care. I was just showing people how big the prawns were. It's not a competition to whose prawns are bigger, but if it was, you still lost. Because you never left the house to go to some place to buy prawns. Why? You said you were going to do something, and you didn't do it. You never do it. You just keep saying that you're going to do stuff that you don't do. Do you not understand that you've not kept any of your promises? That makes you a liar. Clear-cut liar. Now, to move to the highest level, thank you, John, for the super chat, by the way. To move to the highest level of ignorance, you are beyond ignorant. You are. I've always said you have a black heart, man. I've always said it. I've always said that there's evil that runs through your veins. And now I actually have the recording in my possession of your voice and your face doing a candle burning session for the demise of the guy who eats the prawns. That would be me. That you're praying to Lady Karma. That would be Satan. Disguised. That's what Satan does. He hides his face and he hides his character behind different names. You're praying to Lady Karma. You're sucking on Satan's soul so that my heart will blow up or implode from lack of blood at the 2120 mark. You are praying that Obama is taken off the streets of Cebu and he can't smoke cigarettes and he loses his income and he gets deported and he loses his girlfriend, all this negative stuff. And you think that you're ahead of the game, dude? Your soul is black. If someone else could see your aura, and auras are visible, they would see green, red, and brown with black spots surrounding your body as an aura. And it would be a weak aura at that. That would be the color of your aura. Green, red, brown, and black with black spots. There's lots of people out there that can see auras. But you moron, playing with black magic and not knowing what you're doing, you are an idiot. You are a fool to play around with black magic. And you admitted that you had an actual ceremony going and you actually had an altar set up on your kitchen table with a glass of water to ward off the evil spirits. You moron. You know nothing about black magic. You know nothing about who and what you're asking to do something for you. And more than that, you moron, you know nothing about the repercussions or the price you pay to get certain favors from these dark forces. You have no understanding of the occult or witchcraft or Wicca or black magic or satanic. And we're going to go into this. I'm going to tell you that most of the politicians in this world are Masons and or the Illuminati. This is black magic, dude. When you get up into the higher echelons, you become a Mason, you have no understanding of what it is to be a Mason. You get up a couple of stages up, and you are making promises to forces that you have no control over. That's black magic. That's Satanism, just with a different name. They just use different names. You're using the word Lady Karma, and you're praying to Satan itself. You moron. You are so stupid, it's unbelievable. Did you ever see, and this is, my next point was, you don't believe in God, but you said whatever God you believe in, whether it's Buddha or Allah or I think you said Lucifer, a couple of months back you said it. You actually gave yourself away when you called Lucifer a god. Lucifer was a fallen angel. And that's just part of a very elaborate story called the Bible. But there is a force of nature that's good and evil. But evil controls this world, this realm, this world. That's why everything is falling apart. That's why the news doesn't tell you about all the riots that are going on around the world. You people are subjugated by the lack of truth in the news. You go on some people's channel on Odyssey, and you'll see millions of people revolting against their government. Peaceful revolting, but millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people in just one city. In Brussels, which is the capital of Germany, several 100,000 people protested last week. So in the capital of Europe, and no one ever saw it, because black magic is what runs politics. Bush, Cheney, Trump, especially Trump, and Obama, all worked for Israel. Israel is the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is black magic. And it goes back long before the Bible, you moron. It goes back to the beings that have controlled this world forever. Not only do I believe that, I happen to know it's true. There are beings that control this world that the people in charge of the world have no understanding of. Most of them. And the ones that do understand it are totally in control or totally being controlled by these beings. Whether they be spiritual, powers and principalities is the way to discuss it. And you, as an initiate, a stupid initiate at that, are delving into black magic with your limited resources as far as mental capacity is concerned. That's gonna backfire on you, big time. And what you ask for, you will have to pay in spades as the price for the black magic spells that you're putting on people. What, do we think that you only did one spell? You've been doing it for months, years. I pinned you out years ago as a black soul. I only called it a black soul because I had no proof that you're into the occult. And you don't have the brain trust to be into the occult. Number one, you're not smart enough. And number two, you don't have the proper training. And number three, you don't need black magic to get what you want. All in the Philippines, every time every person gets on the jeepney, they pray to Jesus for a safe trip. That's more powerful than anything you'll ever do, but your results might be more expedient. But the price that you pay for your black magic rituals will rip your soul right from your being. And we'll all laugh. It's already happening, dude. You have lost your cognitive reasoning. You have lost your ability to deal with reality. You have lost any semblance of humanity. You couldn't even deal with a flat tire. What would you do if you ran out of cucumber juice and you were thirsty? My God, you are a fool. Watch the buffet. I need cucumber juice and salad and prawn. I'll be back.
Parang kung hindi crazy, right? Ako ba ito, okay? Isunod ako ito.
Okay, I'm gonna get some prawns now. Let me tell you something about black magic, okay? Let me tell you about black magic. First of all, I said it before, you're too stupid to play around with black magic. There are ways to get in touch with the spirit world. Probably not something you should do, though. You don't know how to control it. You don't know when you're being controlled. So number one, if you had any kind of proper training, you wouldn't be performing ceremonies on your kitchen table. That's besides the point. Black magic only works on weak people. It doesn't work on everybody. Number one. Number two, it doesn't work on people that don't believe it will work on them at all. But you calling on an evil spirit to perform a negative deed, you still pay the price for that deed that you called upon. It's like took money out of the bank, but you threw the money away. Okay? But you didn't get to use the money. You're ripping a little piece of your worthless black soul every time you do a black magic ritual. And for you, the price is you already paid the price. You have nothing left as far as integrity, honesty, character. You have no character at all. You have no honor. You've already paid the price. I said this years ago. I couldn't prove it until this week, but I said it years ago. You have a black soul. No matter what I believed that there was something black about your soul. We'll just call it black. Satanic, whatever. Now, everybody has definitive proof. Flying Circus has it on his channel. I have it. Time-stamped and copied with the comments.
Your opinion, sir? Your opinion?
It's just for my records. But so that you can't deny that you called on Satan to get this job done, to get my heart to blow up or implode, and to get Barry Jordan, to take what little Barry Jordan has away from Barry Jordan. That's what you said your life's goal, if it was your last breath. Might be your last breath. Maybe you will die, and maybe Barry Jordan Barry Jordan. 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 Maybe Barry Jordan. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. I gotta say it. Maybe Barry Jordan. Maybe Barry Jordan will be the last thing on your mind. Barry Jordan coughing or sipping some soda, and you're dying, and your brain, your spirit is about ready to leave your body, and you look up and you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. You see Barry Jordan sitting there sipping Jack and Coke. Wouldn't that be the cat's behind? You don't get to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't get to see the train. You get to see Barry Jordan sitting there sipping a Jack and Coke. You have a black soul. I've said it before. So now, with the candle burning ceremony, and the fact that you said you have an altar set up on your table, and you were only hoping for negative things, you're going to pay for that dearly. There's nothing you can do about it. You said that once somebody puts a curse on you, the only person that can take it off is you. If you put a curse on somebody, you are so stupid, it's unbelievable. First of all, if someone doesn't believe a curse could be put on them, well then that's the end of that curse. It went someplace else, number one. Number two, if they do believe it and it somehow it happens, you still pay the price. It's like sticking quarters in a parking meter. Whether you leave the car there or not, you have to pay for the you already paid for the time. You just, and you've been doing this for years. I knew you were doing this for years because some words that you slipped out. So you've been doing these black magic rituals, and what has it gotten you? It's gotten you a hateful black soul, incapable of feeling compassion for anybody. Everything, everybody, that anything anybody ever does is wrong, according to you. Everything. The fact that I showed people the size of the prawns at the prawn farm, and you had to come on and make a video that if you want to see prawns, I'll show you prawns. But you didn't do it. Everything about you, from the inside out, the outside in, from a negative spiritual level is dark. You've been doing this for years. That's why your life is so miserable. You know, I went to talk, this is going back, I think it was before last Christmas. I'd have to look. My first girlfriend. You don't think I know about Wicca and black magic. Let me tell you something. I know more about it than, I don't care who's in the ICM mall right now. I know more about Wicca and black magic than everybody in the mall combined. Everybody. I don't care what they are, who they are, what level of Masonic degrees they are, who, if they're in the Illuminati, I don't care who they are. I know more about it than all of them. Okay, so let me just tell you a little story. So my first girlfriend, Bip, B-I-P, Bip, her name was Terry. I started dating her December 2nd, 1973. We knew each other for years before that. But it was December 2nd, my senior year in high school. This is all true. So, we were both 17. December 2nd. No, we were both 18. No, 1973. Yeah, 18. Okay. She takes me to Rockaway, Penny, P-E-N-N-Y. Anybody that's ever been to Rockaway back in the 70s, right next to there was something called skeet ball, where you throw the ball and the balls drop into the rings, and if you get, like, you know, in the center, you win a doll or something like that. Well, right next door to the skeet, the bowling skeet, there was a little booth about 5 feet wide, and it went all the way to the back of the building. And in the front, there was a fortune teller. Her name was Penny. They were gypsies. They were real gypsies, though. This is the real thing, gypsies. So, this is big money back then now. For $5, Penny, the gypsy, would put a spell on somebody. And Terry brings me there, and she goes through the whole thing, whatever gypsies are, and they can do spells, and she's trying to get me to give Penny $5, and I'm going, no, I'm not going to give her any money. And she's going, why not? I said, well, there was a book, I'm trying to remember the name of the book, The Tell-Cult Power, T-E-L-C-U-L-T. The Tell-Cult Power. I had read that book when I was probably after I had gotten stabbed and died and on the operating table when they were putting me back together. When I came out of that, I went into a training process to find out what happened to me when I died. Norm Tolson, 333 East 79th Street. That was his address. So he gave us the name of a couple of books. The Tell-Cult Power, T-E-L-C-U-L-T, Tell-Cult Power. I think it was by Bantam Books, but I'm not sure. And Cosmic Consciousness by Robert Maurice Buck, R.M. Buck. Cosmic Consciousness. It's a free book online now. And he gave us this book. This was back in before I had a car. I used to take the train into the city. And he taught me meditation, religion, philosophy, the black magic, white magic rituals that we did not perform, but that they were real. But in the class were real witches. He didn't care who came to his class. He did not perform black magic ceremonies, but the witches did perform black magic ceremonies, but not in the class. It was a private house. And what would happen is, if you wanted to go to a black magic ritual with a real circle and a real altar, and they make the line on the floor with the chalk, and they put the voodoo stuff all around the line, they make an altar. If you wanted to, you could go to their house, and even Norm came with us to protect us from the black magic. And he did it as an educational thing, because he knew that stuff was just pure bad. We're not talking about a little bad. We're talking about people that are calling on demonic spirits that you can hear and see in the spirit. You know nothing about this. And Norm was basically there for our protection. And what happened was, one of the rituals, we went to a witch, a real witch. And actually, the way you're supposed to perform the ritual inside the circle is naked. This was a real witch, and she was really naked. And that's just the way the ceremony was performed, or that ceremony. And you could actually feel and hear the spirit. That woman summoned up spirits. The problem with that is you can't control what you're summoning up if you're not in control of what you're summoning up. And you could get a spirit that seems to be benevolent, but it's actually an evil spirit that's lying to you, the same way that you are lying by using the word Lady Karma. You're not asking a woman named Lady Karma for a gift of negative vengeance. You are chanting for Satan to do your work, or the work that you want done. You are sucking on the soul of Satan. Okay? let's make no bones about it, because you disguise it as Lady Karma. You said it. You were performing a black magic ritual with the altar and what else you had on the table, and you can't. And then you said, "I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing." You reinforced. That's a reinforcement of your ability. You are a sick little puppy. You have no idea what you're getting involved with. So this went on for years with Norm. I studied with Norm for 3 years until I was 21 years old. 3.5 years, basically. And his goal was to bring us to a place called cosmic consciousness, a higher state of consciousness. That was the goal of the class. And after several years in the class, if 10,000 people want to reach cosmic consciousness or the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness, if 10,000 people go after that goal, one person is going to reach it, that level of consciousness. One. If 10,000 people decided to do it today, one person is going to reach that level of consciousness. Doesn't matter how much meditation you do, and it doesn't matter how much prayer or fasting. It only matters that just 1 in 10,000 people are going to be able to do it. Those are older souls. Okay? And then once you reach that state of consciousness, then the stuff hits the fan. You really need guidance. Because without guidance, you have almost unlimited power to do almost anything you want. That's when it gets scary. You'll never get that. You studying black magic will never get there to that level of God, what we call a Christ consciousness or samadhi experience. But you'll never get there because you're using satanic forces to do your work for you. Because you're so lazy in real life, you don't do work, and you're so lazy in the spirit world that you have to call on demons to do your work. You are just a lazy individual in any realm. You'll never reach a higher state of consciousness. You'll never understand anything that I said to you. You'll never believe it, and you'll perform another ritual to do more harm to me, and it'll just backfire on you. What your goal is and what will actually happen at the end of the day, you're going to be very surprised what's really going to happen. But I can't tell you because you think you have some kind of thing in your head called a brain. You have no brain. Dude, you have no understanding of what you're messing around with. You could even ask the spirit, if you've ever heard a spirit's voice, are you a good spirit or a bad spirit? And they'll say, oh no, I'm a good spirit. There are ways to protect yourself from that, but far be it from me to tell you how to do it. And far be it from me to tell you how to get rid of that bad spirit. We'll let you figure that out on your own. It'll happen. And believe me, it does happen. And for you, it probably did happen already. Because there is no good in you. People say, oh, you got Barry's girlfriend Dimples praying for you. You have to see the good in. There is no good in you, dude. You're an evil, sadistic, malicious little man. There is no good in you. There is nothing altruistic about you at all. Nothing. Zero. You've never done anything to anybody for an altruistic purpose. You're a selfish little man with no education. In real life, you can't spell, you can't do math, and you have no understanding of the occult. And you're going places where you can't control. You just don't understand it because you're too stupid to even understand what you're doing. Now, would I know about all of this? If I didn't reach that state of consciousness, the samadhi experience or the Christ consciousness, I would know about it. I would know about it. I would know about it from reading and listening to Norm. But would I understand it? No. But once you reach that level of consciousness that I was just talking about, the samadhi experience, then everything that Norm taught us, everything we learned at the witch's circle and her house, all in the city, everything I ever read in the book The Occult Power, everything I read in Cosmic it all becomes instantaneous understanding. You'll never reach that state of consciousness. You're a negative person. Negative people can't go there. Now, in the book The Occult Power, let me tell you what's going to happen to you, and it'll happen. Okay? When you call on demonic forces, and I'm not doing this, I'm just telling people in general. For you, your soul is gone. There's not enough left of your soul to make note of. When I come back, somebody put the word occult power. Paradoxical Q. Twice a week, yes, Friday, and then this Sunday I think I'm coming back. I gotta lose weight. This is the only way to do it. Yeah, the prawns in the United States are 3D printed with a man-made GMO protein. That's true. They're all genetically modified. That's true. Hello, Aviators Escape. Hello, John. Thank you. A good protein-heavy meal gives you energy. It doesn't make you feel bloated. Quells hunger for hours. Oh yeah, and also the fat content. Jerry Cantrell, thank you for stopping by. Bon appetit, sir. I would love to have my own on-time backload t-shirt. Jerry, do you know what the shipping is to America for one t-shirt? The last time I shipped shirts to America, it was $90 for 4 shirts, and that was in 2016. You're gonna have to come to the Philippines if you want one of those. It was $90 to ship 4 shirts. For one shirt was $65, just for the shipping. I still have to go to the city, buy a bag, put it in the bag, and it would take it would take 2 hours just to put the package together. Chances of you owning a shirt are slim to none. Not $65 for the shipping, plus $26. No, those shirts were the on-time backhoe shirts. I think they were $16 for the shirt, plus $65 for the shipping, plus $2 for the bag. That's $75, $85, and 2 hours of my time. I don't think you're gonna get a shirt. To be honest, just to be honest with you. Unless you come to the Philippines. Okay, so that's really the cost too. To get my GoPro camera back to America weighs 2 ounces. I put it in a box. I put it in a bag, a little 5x7 bag. It was $68. That's what the minimum price to ship anything from the Philippines, anything besides a letter, is $65, and that's 2016 prices. Let me get something to drink here. Hold on a minute. And then I'm going to tell you about the book, The Occult Power. You can read that book online. I think that book's online. You want to read a good book about black magic? You read The Occult Power. Look at this. I got a backup plate. Look at that. I got shrimps. I have lemons. I have a backup plate, man. Come on. Who's better than me? Backup prawns. I backed up my prawns. I had a backup salad. I'm set. Okay, so the book, The Telltale Power. Oh, let me tell you something. You want to talk about black magic? Black magic. With the caveat. With the caveat that at the end of the day, you can perform black magic rituals, but you pay with your eternal soul. Don't make any mistake about it. Do those rituals work against some people? Weak people, yes. Some people cannot be cursed. Now, you wouldn't believe that because you're too stupid to understand what I just said. But some people just cannot be cursed. So I could go to the warlock of all of Florida, the head warlock in Florida. I sat down and had lunch with him. I lived in his manager's house. She was my first girlfriend when I was 17, 18. So, the book, The Telltale Power, he goes on to tell you how to perform the rituals. What to do, some safety measures, but make no mistake about it, there's a story in the book. It's true. A person wished for $5,000 and they didn't know how to ask for the $5,000. It's in the book, The Telltale Power. And what happened was somebody that they loved died and left them $5,000 just shortly after they made that wish. So they wanted the money and they did the ritual for the money, but they didn't protect themselves as to how to get the money. They weren't specific. And they got the money just a few weeks later. After the person, the person that they loved died, that person left them $5,000. A few weeks later, the check came in the mail. So can you do that kind of stuff? Yeah. Does it work on everybody? No. But if you don't protect yourself while you're doing the rituals, it comes back at you in spades. And you moron, you've been doing it for years. What a fool. You are one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my entire life. Now, Terry, my girlfriend Bip, my first girlfriend, Penny, the gypsy, the two of them were always doing spells. And I never believed in any of that happy horse shit. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in putting... Terry was a beautician, so she would do it with the hair and the fingernails and everything, you know. Well, so you have no idea what I'm talking about when I tell you when I moved to Florida to live with Terry, Bip. So I was her first boyfriend, but my best friend was her boyfriend before me, but I was her first real boyfriend, whatever that means. And Vinny was Vinny dated her from like 14 to 17, and then I dated her like from 18 to 21. Then she got married to my friend John, who worked for me. And when she broke up with John, she married Vinny, and they had 2 more children. She had 1 child with John, and then she had 2 more children with Vinny. I'm not going to say their names, but she was the real deal when it came to witches. So when I went to live with her in Oleana, where in Orlando, around Orlando, where they have the TV studios. I forgot the name of it. I even had my car registered there, one of my vans. Osceola County. Anyway, I go to visit her. She wanted me to come. I wanted to move to Florida anyway. She goes, come and live with me. I said, okay. I mean, me and Vinny were still friends in New York. He had moved back to New York. Harry and I knew each other since we were 12. John worked for me for years. And I said, okay, so I went there. And I lived in John's son's room, and because he had moved out. And she would never let me in her bedroom. She would open up the door and look down the hallway to make sure nobody was in the hallway. Me, make sure I wasn't in the hallway. I never could figure that out. After a couple of weeks, I don't know why, she had left the door open. And I walked in the house, I think I took the kids, I might have took the kids to Cocoa Beach to go kayaking. Or I could have took the kids to her father's place here in the pool room with pool tables and billiards. And I don't know why I walked in the house and she didn't know I was there. And her door was open. This girl in her bedroom had an altar about 2 steps up from the floor with a real altar and crap hanging from the ceiling and a giant circle on the floor with candles burning and all kinds of witchcraft stuff. And she was doing some voodoo stuff. I started laughing. She didn't know what to do. I caught her in the middle of a ceremony, and she couldn't stop. Apparently, you can't stop, or something happens, whatever. So she yelled for one of the kids to shut the door. But she was really into this witchcraft stuff. So anyway, I knew she was still into it, but I had no idea she had all that garbage. So she takes me, after that, she takes me to where she works. She worked in a place that sold witchcraft stuff. Whatever witchcraft stuff is. Books, candles, incense. You could even get belladonna there. Belladonna is I don't know if was it belladonna. There's some kind of incense that smells very powerful incense, but it's very poisonous. But you could even get that there. Like they had all the jars on the shelves, and you could buy it by the gram or by the ounce. It was a regular witches and warlocks place. It wasn't like a little store either. It was a huge store. Anyway, the guy who owned the store, I don't remember his name. The guy who owned the store, he was a tall guy. And she introduced me to him, and we started talking. He asked me what I was doing, where I was going. I said, I'm moving down to the Florida Keys. He knew about the Keys, and we talked. We went out and had pizza. And I knew he was a warlock, but I didn't know he was the #1 warlock in the state of Florida. He was the most powerful warlock in Florida, as warlocks go. So now, me and him, we're sitting down. He liked anchovies too. We're sitting down having an anchovy pie in Osceola County. Head first. You gotta eat them head first, or you could choke on these bad boys, because they got a spike right on the end of their nose. That's very hard. It's like the beak of a chicken or a hawk. You eat that, and it gets jammed up in your throat. You'll be looking for something to shove into your throat like a pen to get it out of there. You don't want to eat the head wrong. You gotta, when you eat the shrimp head, you gotta eat it right. Ryan Hopland. Hello. So, we were talking. He asked me if I had any intention on staying with Terry, and I said, no. I'm moving to the Florida Keys. Which he knew already, because Terry and I had already been together about 3 weeks. Anyway, I'm not one to beat around the bush. So I said to that guy, Terry tells me you're the head warlock. Yeah. I said, so let me ask you a question. Do you think if I gave you a lock of my hair and my fingernails, do you think you could put a curse on me that would hurt me in any way? He goes, nope, not you. He knew from the get-go he could not. He goes, some people you cannot curse. It has to do with my power, my spiritual power. Whatever you think it is, it's far beyond that of mortal men. But he said, not you. You would not be, it would not be possible to put a curse on you. The same way I've had one of the head hypnotists in the United States spend 15 minutes trying to make me to close my eyes and hypnotize me. He wanted me to walk around and bark like a dog. No matter what he did, I tried. You close your eyes are getting heavy, your hands are falling down, they're getting, nothing worked. This guy, before he got me one-on-one, he put me on stage in Coco's Bar and Grill, Coconuts Bar and Grill. And there were 7 or 8 of us on stage. Out of the audience of a couple of hundred people. I worked in a nightclub, checked ID. He put 7 or 8 people on stage, and he mass hypnotized everybody on stage except me. It didn't work. And then he said, if I tap you, you walk off the stage. So he tapped my hand, and I walked off the stage, and I sat down in the audience. And he mass hypnotized the rest of the people on the stage. All as one. They were all in front of him. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And then he told them that you're a chicken. You're a chicken. Walk around and cluck like a chicken to the first person. And he went through the people. He told them, you're a horse, you're a goat, you're a dog, and you're a cat, and you're a bird. Whatever, animals. And they all walked around the audience chirping and barking and mooing like a cow, whatever he told them that they were. They were. And they thought they were. And they were coming up to me barking and meowing and rubbing against me, and I'm going, not for nothing, dude, but are you serious? I didn't believe it was possible. I never saw anybody get hypnotized before. So after that, there was a code word, and he snapped them out of it. After that, he took me to the side because I was an enigma to him. He couldn't even get me with my hands to be heavy, even though I tried. And we spent about 10, 12 minutes together, and I couldn't be hypnotized. The same way you can't put a spell on me, but it will backfire on you. I guarantee that. You already have a black soul. Dude, the last thing you need is to be casting spells. Remember in the Bible, when Satan, who's a real character in real life? He's a real spirit. Told Jesus, brought him up to the top of the mountain, whatever, and said, all of this will be yours if you bow down to me. And Jesus said, get behind me, Satan. Jesus was supposed to have been offered the world by Satan. Jesus already owned the world. He didn't need Satan to get the world. He already owned it. So you are being tempted by the satanic force to have power. You'll get some power. You'll also lose you don't have a soul left. You have a black heart. You're already gone. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I've known this for years, but you proved it last week. I'll actually going to take the videos and take video clips of it and do an expose on black magic. And I will use you as an example of what it does to your being. It brought you down to the dust of the earth, or less than the dust of the earth. There's nothing in your life, nothing at all, nothing beneficial. You keep going around saying that Bama has nothing beneficial to offer the world. Bama has more to offer the world than you could ever hope to offer the world. As far as entertainment, first of all, he's about 200 times smarter than you are. Second of all, he's actually quite funny if you get past the fact that it's almost amusing that he likes to drink alcohol and you don't want him to drink alcohol. But it's his life. That's the amusing part, that you, busybody, have to get involved with Bama's life. You, the busybody, have to get involved between Bama and Dimples. You see me or anybody else except your stupid worthless trolls on your channel getting involved with Barry and Dimples? No, because they don't care. Most people don't care. If you ask Ryan Circus or Passport, do they care that Barry is dating Dimples? Nope, they don't care. They don't care because they don't care. They got other things to do. You have nothing else to do. Barry owns you. He owns you. And when you say something like Barry and the pustule man should get together and live with each other and suck each other off, dude. What the hell goes on inside your head to say something like that? Not much. That's generated from your black heart. It makes no sense. Barry I'm pretty sure, has no interest in living with me, and I have no interest in living with him. Thank you. But Barry is also not gay, and neither am I. So where does that come from? That comes from some sort of hallucination inside your head. Now, either it comes from a hallucination in your head because you hallucinate, or you do some kind of chemical and then you hallucinate. I don't know. But where you could discern me and Barry living together and having oral sex with one another, that's all inside your head, dude. There's just something so wrong with you. It's beyond words. Why do you care that you call dimples the C word? I have that noted down. I don't know if I have that book with me. Hold on a minute. I have the note. I have it in another book. You call me the postural man. Do you really believe that my leg is going to get cut off, and you believe that's what should happen to me? Why? Because you don't like me? Gotta be careful about what you wish for, dude. You outed Dimples, showed her children from a Facebook account. I think that's against the law. I'm just going through some notes I have here. You condemn the sanitary conditions of an eatery that you go to by name in Manhattan Island, and I would imagine that by now somebody mentioned that to them on their Facebook page or sent them a mail to that effect. It's a registered business in Manhattan. You worry about whether Barry Jordan uses toilet paper. I don't think there's another blogger in the Philippines that cares whether Barry uses toilet paper or not. And you spent 2 hours talking about it. You spent 2 hours worrying about whether Barry Jordan wipes his buttocks with toilet paper or with water. Who would even think of that? Only you, dude. There's something wrong with you. You just don't get it. You said that Daisy met Eugene 7 months before she met Eugene when I was in New York. Meanwhile, Eugene was in Seattle, Washington. I was in New York and Daisy was in Bohol. How could she meet Eugene before 7 months passed? Impossible. But in your head, you said that. You said it out loud. You say you don't watch my streams, but you make every little detail of my stream, you write down. You're the one, you make as many notes as anybody else, but you say you don't do it. But you do it. Because you're a busybody. You say I can't eat shrimp with the heads and tails on it. Why? Watch. Watch it happen. Watch it. Oh, look at the size of this bad boy. Will this be the one? Will this be the shrimp? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're going to put a little lemon on there. Oh, little lemon. Oh. Will this be the shrimp that goes down the wrong way and chokes me to death? Let's find out. Head first, brain first. Ready? An airplane, and the airplane enters into the hangar, and the doors open up, and the airplane, and the shrimp, and the head of the shrimp. There's a big head on there. Some of it got stuck. It's true. I'm getting ready to chew it. Up, I got it. The head is gone. Who worries about whether Barry Jordan uses toilet paper? Who? Then nobody else would ever ask that question. It's not logical. But you have to degrade Barry Jordan in any way, shape, or form that you can. Do you hear anybody else doing that on YouTube besides your friend, the slob? That you somehow you two derive pleasure from that. Let's see. You said if I lost 100 pounds from where I am now, 220 pounds, that I'd still be fat. So I'd weigh 120 pounds at 5'7", and I'd still be fat. That's because you're stupid and you can't do math. You said Roberto cheats on his wife because him and his wife are separated. But if him and his wife are separated and he has to cheat on his wife, therefore, according to you, that you and Jimmy's wife are separated. So are you cheating on Jimmy's wife? Or is that even possible? Being that she's already married to another man, and you, if you dated another woman, would you be cheating on her? Or would that nullify cheating? Would it be okay? Is it even possible for you to cheat on Jimmy's wife? Because after all, it is somebody else's wife, which apparently means a lot to you. Because you've mentioned that Dimples is married 200 times. So it must be important if a woman is married and she's dating a man. To you. So is it cheating? Is Dimples cheating on her husband if she is married? Are you cheating on your girlfriend if she is married? Is it cheating if she's married? I don't know. I got a couple more notes and then I'll let you guys go. I have something written down here about an 8-year-old boy. Let's wait till the end of the week and talk about that one. Whoa. Oh my God, I'm going to jail, he said, because of a a so-called caricature on a t-shirt. Boy, you are stupid. Philippines has no such law. Samsung, cable man, toilet, wire rope. Oh, that's my list. Where's the rest of my notes? Uh-oh. Ah, yeah, here it is, right here. Oh yeah, here's the one with the restaurant. Oh yeah, you mentioned the name of the restaurant, how dirty it is, unsanitary, and then you suggest that people go to a different restaurant. I mean, don't buy their meat there because it's unsanitary, because people put their hand on the meat. Oh yeah, there's a nice note I have right here with the name of the restaurant. Oh yeah, I'm surprised many people didn't send that to the restaurant. You live in that town, by the way, right? Oh my God. And then I need a picture of a 1 horsepower motor. I need the 12-foot chain. We did that already. I need motors, and that's this week. Jenga, I got to call them up. That's the woman who died. Excuse me. Her husband died. Jenga, we'll find out if they have the rebar bender. I need clamps, got clamps. 200 clamps done. $1,000 paid. Jenga's telephone number, got that. Start the buffet twice a week. Start the buffet twice a week, lose twice as much weight. I got that. Check. Look, that's my favorite. Start 2 times a week at the buffet. I lose twice as much weight. I gotta get garlic, lemons, and a power miter. 5 gallons of white, got that. Paint, I got the blades, I got the motors. I took the pictures of the motors. The blue Makita. I had more notes, not in this one, but I got it. Where you admit that you're dealing with black magic. Never saw. Yeah, you said I never built anything. Oh my God. There's hundreds of stuffs that I built on the internet, on my other channel. You're the one who never built anything, dude. You're the one who has no videos of you ever building or working on a motor or anything like that. And you say, I'm the one that doesn't have skill sets? No, it's you who doesn't have skill sets. I have 11 federal and state licenses that I could prove I had or have in my possession. You have nothing. You don't even have a driver's license, you idiot. You don't even have a driver's license. Oh, more head. More shrimp head. Wow. Wow. These are good. You just wait. On or before January 10th. It's coming, dude. It's coming. The day of reckoning. That everybody on YouTube, everybody, will know that you are not a truthful man. When you say, I'm the only one that, everybody on YouTube will know that you've never told the truth. about 90% of what you talk about. It's coming due January 10th to a channel named Michael Fazio, Alpha Male Construction. Jolly Biasco, hello. Hello, Andrew. Oh, yeah. Good eating at the prawn farm. These prawns are exceptionally good this week. They're prawns in an oyster sauce. Let me show them to you. I never had these before. They're pretty good sized prawns. They got the points. The eyes are still intact. The tail, I'm all ready to go swimming. Every time I eat a tail, I want to jump into the ocean. I'm going to save this one. This is my last prawn. I'm almost done eating, actually. I think the buffet is over. Which means, could it be over? I don't know. The camera restarted twice. It means I've been eating for 3 hours. I'm not even full. Not even full. I am building up strength and endurance to eat for 4. Maybe I'll go into one of those food competitions for how many shrimps that you could eat. Fresh lemons. Oh God, that's good. Now they don't give you the lemons here at the prawn farm. They might if you ask them, but I buy the lemons. It's 2 o'clock now. I buy the lemons. I hear the outside siren. I buy the lemons at the vegetable market across the street for, I don't know, actually, it's another thing that I should talk about. Food shopping here, you gotta be careful in the Philippines where you buy stuff. I mean, you gotta be careful with everything you do here. If you buy, okay, first of all, the biggest vegetable market in Bohol is right across the street from the ICM, the biggest vegetable market in Bohol. There might be, on any given day, 1,000+ people in there. I am the only white man in the building. I have only seen another white man in that building 1 or 2 times in the last 7 years. Strictly, they're afraid to go in now. It's dark, number one. It probably has 1/5 the light that the supermarkets have. It's dark. It's literally dark. It's a little better this year than it was last year, but a few years ago, you walk in there, it was just dark. And white people just don't go in there. But that's where you get the good prices. But I know almost every vendor in there by face. And they know me by face. I went to a store in there to buy these calamansi lemons, and they were the first store I went into. I don't buy anything from this person at all, ever. but I never even asked them for a price. But they know who I am, but I never stopped in that store because I have the stores. There's the markets that I go to are 3 vegetable markets. They have everything I normally want. So this store, the guy was taking the calamansi out of the basket, a new batch of calamansi. And I stopped at the store because it's fresh. It lasts an extra 4 or 5 days if it's fresh. I asked him how much for the calamansi. Holy macaroni. He wanted 120 pesos for a kilo. It's way, way out of line for calamansi. Calamansi is 55, 60, 70 pesos, not 120. So I said, no, thank you. Now they were fresh. And that's all I needed was calamansi. I got cucumbers a few days ago. So because I didn't need anything else, it was the first store that was there. I'll buy from somebody different, I don't care. But he wanted 120. So he was basically robbing me, thinking I don't know what the prices are. Because in the ICM mall, calamansi is 120 pesos for a kilo. So I went to my normal guy, and he didn't have calamansi. He was out. Bill, his name is Bill. So I went to the next store that I go to. That's the second choice. They had calamansi, 55 pesos. Fresh. Also fresh calamansi. So if you don't know where you're going, they'll just take advantage of you. Plus being a white guy, and the only white guy in the building. I've never seen another white man in there. And the white man that I saw inside that building, his girlfriend, or him, he owned the store. I never saw a white man in that building shopping. I am the only one that has ever gone in that building shopping. And I buy all my vegetables in there because it's exactly half the price that you would pay in the ICM or BQ market. Exactly half. So, if I spend 500 pesos a week on vegetables, so the same guy with the calamansi for 120, I asked him for the price of fresh garlic. He had fresh garlic. He had fresh fruit. And he told me 150. 150 is actually a respectable price for fresh garlic at a certain time of the year, but not this time of the year. So, Bill had fresh garlic for 80 pesos. Again, that's just a little more than half price. So 1 kilo of garlic, I saved 70 pesos on, and 1 kilo of calamansi, I saved 120 from 60 pesos. 70 and 60 is 130 pesos. That's $2.60 on just 2 items. If you don't shop and you're on a budget, and I spend my budget money, I spend my money on tools. I'd rather buy screws or nails than pay for double for the vegetables. But people are afraid to go into that market. There's no white people in there at all. None. I go in there, everybody says hello. Even the people that I don't buy anything from, never bought anything from them, because I say hello to everybody. And they always hello, the guards. I don't buy anything from the guards, but everybody says hello. But no other white person I ever saw shopping there. It's funny, people are afraid to go in there. It's just a strange feeling. Not for me, but I used to be paranoid to go in there, but I still went in there because I never felt afraid, but at first I was paranoid. You know, when you move to the Philippines, at first you're paranoid about a lot of stuff. But I never got harassed. Nobody ever accosted me for money in there. Never. Outside, they have the bajau that ask you for money, but inside, no, they're not allowed in there. So this week, to sum up how much money I want to save by knowing how to shop, I'm saving 5,600 pesos on the miter. That's $112 on that one item. I saved $2.60 on the vegetables today. That's 112 and say 114, let's say 115, okay? I bought 10 of those blades, I saved $10. $10. So that's 115 and 10, that's $125. So what does we have? The blades, calamansi, and the garlic. And the palomito. On 4 things, $125. On the paint I bought a 16-liter bucket. I'm going to take that home in the tricycle today. I saved 800 pesos, $16 plus 125, 135, 141, $141 on that paint. Because the other paint store has it in gallons, but I don't want gallon buckets. I want the 4-gallon bucket. So $141. What else did I buy? $141 on those 6 items. On the clamps, they want $82. They want $1.60 a clamp. So what did I say? $143, right? 143. Let me write that down. I said 143 on 6. 143 on 6 items. Okay? The clamps, they want 82 pesos. I paid 50. That's 32 pesos times 200. So that's 3,200 twice, 6,400 pesos is $128. 128 and 143. That's 12, 3, and 4, 7. That's $272 this week. And then I bought 10 pieces of pipe at 485 pesos. Ten pieces of pipe at 485 pesos. 485 was for the 10 pieces of pipe. And in Build-A-Ware, the pipes are 700 each. So we'll take 700 minus, say, 500. That's a 200 peso difference times 10. That's 2,000. That's $40. plus 272 is 211, $312 on the with the pipe. On a roll of foam, I saved $20 on a roll of foam. So add 20 to 312, that's 332. The lumber, I could have probably got the lumber the same price someplace else. And so this week, by knowing where to shop and how to shop and who to talk to when I go shopping, I saved $332. That's a lot of money. And I still spent, well, with the power miter. Oh, did I add the power miter? I don't know if I added the power miter. No, I did not. That's another $100. Did I add the power miter in the beginning? That's $120. I saved $452. $452. This week, I spent $1,500, close to that, and I saved $452. That's smart. That's not stupid. So we hear this little man say, he's so cheap. I'm not cheap, I'm smart. I never argued. There's another lie that he projects all the time. I argued with a tricycle driver over a PESO. No, I did not. Never did. I make sure that when I get in the tricycle, I already know what the price is. You are too stupid to understand you never get into a tricycle without getting the price first. They'll tell you some ridiculous price when you're in the tricycle, when you get out. And that's what they'll want from you. Whatever they say, whether it's reasonable or not. The only tricycle driver I ever argued with was when I was coming home from the NBI, and I got in the tricycle with the understanding that to bring me from the NBI to the BQ Mall, it was going to be 20 pesos. That's a normal price. And I got about 100 feet away from the NBI, and the guy told me, I handed him $20, 20 pesos, and he said, no, not 20, 30. And I said, stop the tricycle. Because he raised the price 50%. And I got out. I didn't argue with the tricycle driver over that. He changed the price after I got in the tricycle. We're done. I'm done. He only drove me from the NBI to the corner. It wasn't like I robbed him or anything like that. But I hear this story. I didn't argue with anybody about the price because I make the price before I get in the tricycle. He changed it after I got in the tricycle because I said 20 pesos. He said, okay. And when as soon as I got in, I paid him. He goes, no, not 20, 30. He didn't make a mistake. He just changed the price, thinking I would pay it. I will not. So this week, I saved $452 that I could count off the top of my head. I spent $1,500, and that gives me $452 towards another tool or towards more material. That's not arguing with somebody. The guy in the lumberyard, yeah, I'm not going to show you what it is, but these are the receipts. These are the bills for the lumber. I didn't wait for the truck to get to my house and argue the price. I sat down man to man with the owner of the lumberyard, and I said, look, this is what I want. What's the price? And he gave me he put down the price on a sheet of paper. I said, no, not that price. No. And last month, it was 2,500 pesos for that roll of foam. This month, you want 3,500? No. I'll give you 3,000 pesos for it. He goes, okay. We met halfway. But he raised the price 1,000 pesos. But I didn't wait to get home to argue with him about the price. I did it in his office. He knew what he was doing. He was trying to get as much as he could, and I'm trying to save as much as I can. At the end of the day, I handed him almost $1,000. I was shy 10,000 pesos because I bought a few things that I didn't expect to buy in his store, and including I bought extra plywood that I didn't need, and I was shy 10,000 pesos, and he sent me the order, and when I was shy, when I left his office, I went into the city and got money. I had to do other shopping. I needed cucumbers, but so I saved $452 this week. That's more money than a lot of people make in a week or a month on their Social Security. That's what I saved this week by being smart. If you people want to make fun of me, you can make fun of me all you want. The bottom line is I'm a lot smarter than all of you combined, for the most part. Now, I'm not the richest person on here. I made some bad real estate investments, but I'm a lot smarter than you are. I had some guy go, and this is stupid now. This is a stupid trope this morning. Guy comes on this morning. Michael Fazio, it looks like you live poorer than the poorest Filipinos. Now, what kind of stupid stuff is that? Think about what that sounds like. I live poorer than the poorest Filipino. Do you not understand this person that left the comment? Most Filipinos don't have air conditioning. I have air conditioning. Most Filipinos don't have a door. I have a door. Most Filipinos don't come to the prawn farm once a week for foods. I go to the prawn farm once a week for foods. Most Filipinos live on a dirt floor. I live on a plywood floor. Most Filipinos don't have stock in their refrigerator, meats, cheeses, which I don't eat, and bottles of ketchup, which I don't eat anymore because of that sugar. But I have 2 big bottles of Heinz ketchup, the big ones, the 30-ounce bottles, 32-ounce bottles. Most Filipinos. So that's not a real life truth. Well, he's getting blocked as soon as I get home. But you people come on and you want to try to degrade me. I want to see your face, and you do that. I want you to come here and do that. That's what I want. And then we'll see. I'll show you the inside of my house. I have no problem. I'm not embarrassed about that. Got to remember, I lived better than most people in the world when I lived in the Florida Keys. Because my backyard had heavy equipment in it. I still lived in $1 million house. So, I still had an Ocean Racer in the backyard. I still had a Cobra Mustang in the backyard. I still had a $185,000 backhoe in the backyard. I still had a 21-foot Anna Capri with a 200 Merc in the backyard. Did you do that? Did you ever live like that? No. You people are a trip, man. You think that you could get into my brain and hurt my feelings? You're just as stupid to believe that about me as the idiot is to believe that he's going to hurt Barry Jordan's feelings. Barry Jordan doesn't give a flying crap what you think. Does he know the difference of what you think, whether it's right or wrong? I don't know. He doesn't even care, so why should I care? When you talk bad about Barry Jordan, he don't care. If it's true, it's true. If it's not true, it's not true. But he doesn't even care that you say it. He only cares that you're stupid enough to believe it. You're not going to hurt Barry Jordan's feelings. He even says he's a poor man. You can't, you're not hurting his feelings. He's probably one of the more honest people on YouTube. You're not going to hurt his feelings. Did you ever hear me go after Barry? Hell no. I like Barry. Never, Barry, you look at Barry Jordan. You look at him on a whole level. He has never attacked anybody verbally. Never. Except the creep that attacks him. He's never attacked anybody. He never said a bad word about Princess Anne or anybody, ever. He doesn't bother anybody. He likes to drink, so he likes to drink. It's his business. What do I care if Barry Jordan drinks? I don't. He likes to party. Why would anybody care whether Barry Jordan parties or not? All the stories that you hear about Barry, he's asked people to prove it. Prove it. One of the funniest things is, and I don't know if it's true or not, I don't care. This creepy little man, the little fella, says that Barry Jordan owes people money. And Barry's response? Show me a piece of paper that I owe somebody money. That is like, where do you go from there? Show us where Barry Jordan owes money. You can. And as far as you getting into his personal business, telling him that you're gonna take away his Social Security and you're gonna take his money away from him and he's gonna be on the street begging like a beggar. Man, that shit could backfire on you fast. That could backfire on you like you would never understand. Something wrong with you, dude. You're a busybody. You put your nose where it doesn't belong. One day somebody will close the door on that nose. My last prawn until Sunday.
All right.
Sunday, I'm coming back, baby. Head first. Let's just eat the head. Let's go. Let's go for a little head. Prawn head. Let's go prawn head. Oh, prawn gods. The god of the prawns. Let me eat thy head of the prawn and take the brains directly from the back of the head of the prawn into the top of my head to the prawn gods. The brain fluids are mixing already. Oh my God, that is good. That was a big prawn head. I feel real smart now. Yeah. Imagine this. Barry has to leave the Philippines because of you and your big mouth. He gets to go back to America free, right? He gets a free ride. If I was him, guess where I would go? If I had a choice. that shit could backfire on you big time, man. Imagine that. Barry Jordan blogging in your hometown. That would be funny as all get out. That would be hilarious. Barry Jordan. You are such a mean, malicious little man. Talking about you said Barry has STDs, diseases. See what you're trying to do, what he's trying to do, anybody that's listening to this video, what he's trying to do, when he said me and Barry, you and the pustule man, he said, should live with each other, and then you could service each other. Yeah? See, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get me to threaten him, because what he needs from me is a physical face in a video threatening him. That's what he needs. Otherwise, he got nothing. And I've never done that. Otherwise, he wouldn't need it, right? And he's never going to get it. So he upped the ante to black magic, where he's praying for my heart to blow up or some implode or explode, because he's too stupid to know the difference between imploding and exploding. You moron. First he called for my heart to explode. That would be correct. The pressure builds up from the cholesterol and your heart explodes. And then the idiot backtracked and said, well, implode from lack of blood flow. You are such a moron. Hearts don't implode, they explode. You are so stupid. The basic concepts of reality you know nothing about. Anyway, my battery's dying. Oh. Yeah, that would be funny as all get out. If Barry chose your place, your state, if he got deported to America, he chose your state. I bet you, if that happened, I bet you Barry Gordon could send out an all-points bulletin for money, for traveling money to go visit. I bet you he'd get it. With a map and a directions and a GPS coordinate. That would be funny. That would be really funny. I don't know how funny it would be, but that would be funny. Barry gets deported and he goes to where you live with a map. Then you could explain to him why you did that. Why you made such a terrible blunder of your life. Dude, you and that black magic, you and your black heart, you're a trip, man. You don't know what you're doing, and you've already done it to yourself. Gemma. Bye-bye, honey. Yeah, that would be, I would like to see that. I think I might even like to pay for that, to see that. That would make a great pay-per-view. Barry Jordan live drama on your front lawn. That would be fun. That would be worth paying too. I'm done eating. I knew I was done eating an hour ago. When I said no more, and I knew exactly what plate to stop. That I knew exactly how. I got a small plate of prawns and chicken before. I know when it's time to stop eating. I knew it 45 minutes ago. I says I can eat one more plate, small plate, with a salad. And that's exactly what I got, and that's exactly all I needed. One more plate with a salad, and I was good to go. I was good to go. Okay, now. All right, my battery, my camera just went dark. I know it's still recording, but I'm going to shut it off. So I will say goodbye. Thank you, Mitch Bramwell, for the super chat. And I saw $2 more in super chat, and the name evades me right now. I don't know if it was John Escape. I don't remember. I said a lot of words today. A lot of words. Hey Jack, if you're out there lurking, I left a nice message for you this morning, saying I'd like to say hello to you by Christmas. I hope.
Sir, can I get sir?
Sure. And you could, if you would bring the bill, please.
Brad.
Hey, wait.
Sir, keep the change.
No, thank
no.
you. No, thank you.
Bye, kasi sama.
You give this, you give, thank you, Ray Vincent.
Yes, sir.
You,
What's for, sir?
that's to cut metal. I'm gonna buy a big saw,
Oh.
and this cuts the metal. So one is for metal, one is for concrete, but this one is for metal.
I thought you were a DJ.
No. It's the open is the ass. Yeah. Gemma?
Is like
Yeah?
So you not cut.
Not.
Oh.
Because
She like.
like an empalaya?
Yeah.
Okay.
You talk, Gemma.
She you wait. You Jema. Jema.
Jema.
Here.
Uy.
Jema, show us. Paliho.
Uy, sayang, kinumandag na, uy. Atong tip, eh.
You will be the one, Jema. Like Jesse James. Like Jesse James. I kid around with her. She's actually a lot of fun. I kid around about her. You give this to Jamie like slip like a Jesse James in the pocket, right in the pocket, right in the pocket. Jema, show us. Paliho. No? No. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, Ray. Thank you very much. See you next week. Hey, you forgot that. Okay. Jema, next week I get the Christmas jacuzzi. One jacuzzi for Christmas.
One because it's equivalent to 1,000.
Paliho.
Sir,
Give. You.
one because it's equivalent to 1 million. Mothers and said.
Let's. Jema, you give me the jacuzzi. One jacuzzi for Christmas. One early jacuzzi. You did a beautiful job with the windows. Very nice. You're very good at that. Amping. Eden. The Garden of Eden. You have a nice day. Ray. Jacob. Amping. You guys look like you're getting ready to collect money. That's what you look like. The mafia. Filipino mafia. Salamat. And you? Thank you. See you maybe Sunday, actually. Okay. Salamat. Okay, I'm going to shut this off now. I can't see the comments. Well, maybe I could. I'm on another planet, huh? Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Amping, I will see you in a few days. Thank you very much, Ray. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shut this down. This is Michael Fazio in the Philippines.